Hi, this is Troy with Legacy Human Resources, and I want to welcome you to this year's open enrollment. We're excited to bring you the changes this year. I think they're positive changes. Everyone that I have spoken to thus far is fairly happy with what we've done. There's been a lot of news, a lot of media in Colorado particularly, but also in the Wall Street Journal about the increases that are coming to healthcare in 2026. We did not experience that, and we'll get to that in a little bit, but I want to go ahead and start with just a little bit of housekeeping. Open enrollment is the time of year where you can make any changes to your plans, what plan you're on, whether that's health, dental, vision. You can add, you can drop. Now is the time of year for you to do those things. You can add or drop dependents. Keep in mind, most of your kids can stay on the plans until they're 26. There are some exceptions to that, but keep that in mind if you've got children in the next year that'll turn 26 years old and they're on your health insurance or dental. Now's the time you can change beneficiaries, and all of this is available through our online portal. And I think everybody who's going through this video right now has been through the portal process. If nothing else, when you came on board, that's how you elected or waived benefits. You will be getting an email right now. It's 3:30 on Friday the 15th. I will be sending an email out in the next little bit after I finish recording this. If you don't get the email or you have an issue with the link, you can always access the open enrollment process through your employee portal, through the PRISM portal. Feel free to take care of that. Again, the changes that you make now are good for the next 12 months. And that starts October 1st and runs through September 30th of the next year. So do make sure that you're planning accordingly, not just for now, but for the next 12 months. It does take a qualifying event in order to make any changes after that. The open enrollment process will start this afternoon and it will run through the end of August on the 31st. We do this because we are billed 1 month in advance for your health and dental insurance. And so when we run your payrolls in September, we want to bill the correct amounts for you on those payrolls and avoid any credits or double deductions, anything that might have to happen in October. That makes paychecks messy. It makes you guys upset, get your managers questioning, and it's a lot of work for us too. So we're going to give 2 weeks at the end of this month. If you have questions about anything, feel free to call our office. As you go through the process, you will see on every single plan that we offer, there is a benefit summary tab. If you click that, you can pull up the benefit summary. You can download and save PDFs of the benefit summaries. If there are multiple plans offered, you can do side-by-side comparisons on those. You will get a running total of everything that you have elected, so please take a look at that. When you are finished, you will need to review your choices. You will need to submit them. When you do so, you'll have to type your name in, and it needs to be typed exactly as it is in the top right part of that screen. That will let you close out your benefits. You'll get a confirmation. You can keep the confirmation statement, but that will be in the system as well. So I think that's all of the housekeeping. I'm going to move into sharing my screen. So the first thing, and this benefit guide is available from your manager or owner. I have attached that to an email that I am sending them this afternoon. So this is available to you. I'm going to work from the back to the front on this, but one of the things that we offer is Legal Shield. We're really excited about this. I know people in the Legacy corporate office have used this product. I have used this product in the past. It's really just what it sounds like. It's a very inexpensive way to access legal help. You can get this, if you've got a speeding ticket, they can help with that. Excuse me, wills, preparation, and things like that. It's a very simple way to do that, and it's very inexpensive. It's, as it says on this screen, $15.75 a month. This can cover yourself and your family. So there is a link, shieldbenefits.com at /legacyhr. So if you have any questions, always give us a call about this, because one thing about the benefits that we're showing you is these are the benefits that I am on with my family. I know David in my office has Legal Shield. So if you've got questions, these are the same things that we use for ourselves and our families. So please feel free to call us. The next plan is an accident plan. We have a high participation rate on our accident plan. This is voluntary, but it is very inexpensive. The cost, I believe, is $7.75 a month for an employee-only plan. This is exactly what it sounds like. If you are involved in an accident and you're injured in some form or fashion, you have some insurance that you can utilize now to help offset some of the fees. Sorry, I'm working on screen sharing. There is a more detailed version of this inside the enrollment system, but you can see, for instance, if you're admitted to the emergency room, they're going to send you a check for $200. If you have a burn, it could be up to $15,000 reimbursement. Medical device, $200. It's a scheduled payout. I have this for my family. We have utilized this. I know a lot of people, every time I go to an enrollment meeting, somebody says, yeah, I had to use this. So this is a very popular coverage. It helps you offset any out-of-pocket expenses that you might have as it relates to your medical. So again, if you have any questions on this, feel free to give me a call, but this is available. This breakdown is available inside the system. The next product is critical illness. This is, again, kind of what it sounds like. This pays in the event that you have a heart attack, stroke, ALS, any type of heart surgery, major organ replacement or organ failure, cancer, obviously is a big one. The way this works is you select a coverage amount for yourself anywhere between $5,000 and $50,000, and you pay accordingly based on age. And if you, for instance, if you have a heart attack and you send in your explanation of benefits, they're going to send you a check for the amount of coverage that you have signed up for. Your children are covered up to 25% of what you sign up for. Your spouses can get up to 50% of the up to $25,000. So again, we have a lot of participation on this. There's a lot more to it than just being diagnosed with cancer. But if you've ever gone through that or had anybody go through that, it's a very stressful time. And this can be a very inexpensive way to offset any out-of-pocket expenses you might have as it relates to that. The next coverage that we've got is hospital. And if you are admitted to a hospital, they're going to pay you $500. If you're inpatient, that's $300 per day. If you get an ICU, if you're in intensive care, $500 a day, and your daily is another $300. So this also has NICU, newborn intensive care for babies, $75 a day. So keep that in mind. Again, we've got a lot of participation on this, mainly because we have a high participation on our health savings account or our high deductible health plans. And these work hand in glove with that. This is a way for you to help offset those deductible expenses. So keep that in mind. And again, all of these flyers are available to you inside the enrollment package. We also offer long and short-term disability. This is income replacement, and this is different than the state paid leave offerings that are coming out. Colorado has theirs. Short-term disability, in order to get these, you need to be labeled disabled by a healthcare provider. So you will need a disability designation from a healthcare provider, meaning you can't work, so you're losing your income. The short-term disability pays up to 60% of your wage, up to $1,500 a week, so basically $6,000. This runs for 12 weeks. Long-term comes right in on the back of that. It runs 60% of your salary up to $6,000 a month. And it comes in at 90 days. So this runs 12 weeks, 90 days. This runs after 90 days, and it can run, I believe, up to age 65. So we do have a high participation post-COVID on our disability products, but those will be available in there. Because we have your pay information in our system, if you select this type of coverage, it will automatically calculate the benefit and the payment. So you will see that default in there. Nothing for you to do other than select it. We offer voluntary life insurance. Skip a page. Your employer is paying for a base life and accidental death policy on you. Typically, it's $25,000. We have a couple of clients that offer $50,000, but most of our clients have $25,000 that you have. You are auto-enrolled. You will see that as you go through. You do not need to elect. You cannot sign any spouse or kids up for this. But you do have the life insurance through your employer. This is straight term life. Not portable, nothing along those lines. Voluntary life insurance. You can cover your spouse, yourself, your kids, and it's very, very, very inexpensive. It is term life, but your kids, you can cover all your kids at the $10,000 level, $10,000 life and $10,000 accidental death, and that's 60 cents a month. So it's 30 cents a check. Very, 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 very inexpensive. You can cover yourself in $10,000 increments, up to 5 times your annual salary or a max of $500,000. There is $100,000 of guaranteed issue. Now, if you signed up for this when you initially came on board, you don't have any issues. If you either have zero supplemental life insurance or you want to add more, you are going to have to go through an evidence of insurability process. The same thing goes for long-term disability. If you do not have long-term disability now and you want to cover yourself with long-term disability at open enrollment, that's fine, but you have to go through the evidence of insurability. Sorry, I keep clicking on the wrong button. 3 times in a row. And that screen, there is a link You can do that online. And you go online, you complete, basically it's a health questionnaire. Mutual of Omaha will have you in their system, but you will complete, a series of questions, and they will either approve or deny your request for coverage. So keep that in mind. The voluntary life insurance and the long-term disability, it says it as you go through. It's got a link as you're going through the process. Just know that that is required for those new types of coverages. They will not approve you. We will bill you for it. But we did last year. Some people did not do the process, or they were declined, and we had to end up refunding the premiums, which is not a big deal, but it happens. Vision is still through VSP. It is, a pretty standard type coverage. VSP is a huge nationwide network. There are annual exams offered under the plan, $10 copay for those. You get contacts or lenses every 12 months, and you get frames every 2 years, every 24 months, and you can see the allowances. There is a in-depth breakdown on the plan, again, inside your enrollment. So far, really no changes to anything this year. Premiums stayed the same. You will see, if you're a participant on Vision, our Vision for the first time in, I think, close to 10 years, went up 10 cents at the employee-only level this year. So if you have Vision, you might see an extra nickel on each paycheck. But as we get into the dental coverage, currently we are with Cigna Dental. We are moving to Anthem Dental and keeping that consistent with the healthcare. The plans are the same. We're offering a silver, gold, and platinum offering again this year. About half of our total population is on that platinum plan. I personally am also. That is a $5,000 benefit plan. Preventive's covered at 100%, basic and major 80 and 50. It does have orthodontia up to $2,000, a one-time $2,000. And there are no age limits on that orthodontia. So that is available for adults. We had a lot of people who wanted orthodontia as adults. That was not covered until 2 years ago. So we're maintaining the adult orthodontia coverage. That is a one-time $2,000 benefit. Our gold package is $1,500 per person per year. It also is $180.50 in terms of the coverage amounts. It has orthodontia, but it has orthodontia for kids, up to a one-time $1,500 payment. We have a silver package that is $750 per person per year. Has an 80/80/50 co-insurance on that. Again, there's no orthodontia on it, but if you have good oral hygiene, we still have a lot of participation on this plan. If you get 2 cleanings per year, that kind of thing, and everything else is okay, then that plan is probably absolutely okay. If you are someone who is needing some more extensive dental work, you will find that there is not a huge cost difference between the silver and the platinum, definitely not between the gold and the platinum. So take a look at those. You can do side-by-side comparisons of those inside the portal. So, and again, any questions you have, please let me know. Now on to healthcare. Healthcare this year, particularly in Colorado, but again, this was even in the Wall Street Journal, had a lot of people reaching out to me in July regarding a lot of the things that they saw in the press, and that, related to pretty substantial increases that are coming in 2026. Colorado is going to experience along the Front Range probably around 20%. The mountain and rural areas up to 40%. So there are cost increases coming. We have been fighting on this for several months. Cigna, as we always do, we shopped our plan. We talked to United, Blue Cross, and Cigna. Anthem was very aggressive this year. They wanted our business back. And so at the end of the day, we are moving back to Anthem, Blue Cross, Blue Shield. If you are on a PPO plan, and when I say PPO, just so you know, that is where you have a copay arrangement when you go to the physician's office. You have a deductible amount that you meet, and then you have co-insurance that you pay until you get to the out-of-pocket maximum. The plans are side by side here. You will see that the PPOs, for those of you on PPOs, they got a little richer this year. The 3,000 PPO did not change very much, but we had a $1,500 PPO that went to $1,000. Over our 15 to 20 years with, actually not quite, so 15, 16 years with Blue Cross prior to moving to Cigna, we had developed and acquired some custom plans with them over that period of time. When we were, going back to them, they asked, could we get something that's a little, plans that they have already filed with the state. And I said, yeah, as long as it's, not going to break the bank or, take a huge step backwards. So you'll see that these plans are a little richer than what we were offering prior in terms of the copays. And again, the deductible on that $1,500 plan, if you're on that, is dropping to $1,000. So that is nice. The 3,000 did not change very much. The copays did decrease just a little bit. So you'll be having some lower copays if you're on the PPO plans. The HSAs are also changing just a little bit. Obviously, we're going back to Anthem. And again, here's where we had some off the, some real custom designs. These changed a little bit. For instance, the family deductible used to be $6,850, which is kind of a goofy number, but we had just got to that over time. That has changed to $7,000, so it went up $150. The out-of-pocket for an individual went from $4,500 to $5,000 on that plan, and we do have a lot of participation on that plan. After you hit your $3,500, it still is an 80-20 co-insurance until you get to the $5,000. One big change on the $3,500 plan, and this is new. We have not had this in the past. This is a big improvement. There is what's called an embedded deductible on that plan. And what that means is it used to be that an individual would have to meet the family out-of-pocket before the plan paid 100%. That is not the case anymore. One person will only have to meet $500 before the plan starts paying 100% on that person. So that is a big help. We've had that on the $5,000 plan in the past. We have not had it on the $3,500, so I'm excited about that. That is a nice improvement for us. The $5,000 plan did change also. That was a $5,000 deductible, and then it was an 80-20 co-insurance, meaning you paid 20% of the rest of the bill until you got to $5,500, and then the plan paid 100%. Again, that was a custom plan that we used to have. Anthem is now offering a $6,000 plan, and then it's 100% after that. So that number went up $500. Also, you're going from $5,500 to $6,000, and then the plan pays 100% after that. And you'll see that on the summaries of benefits and coverage. That also has an embedded deductible. It's not mentioned on here, but that plan also has embedded deductible. And what that means is, again, rather than one, let's say you cover your family or even employee spouse, employee child, whatever, you don't have to meet the full $12,000 before Anthem starts paying. One person will only have to meet the $6,000, and then the plan will pay after that. So we used to have deductible 100% plans. We have not had those for, it's been 6, 7, 8 years since we've had those. But this is a nice plan. It's priced accordingly. So I'm excited about this, and it does still have the embedded deductible. I should have on Monday pharmacy networks, mail order information, things along those lines. I've already had some people reaching out to me regarding, disruption. Is there a person in or out of network? What can we do to get prescriptions transferred over? If you have met or you're close to meeting your out-of-pocket maximum and deductible this year, when we leave Cigna, you'll need to get that information. You should be able to get it out of your Cigna portal, or you can request that an explanation of benefits be mailed to you. But once you get that, send that to me. I will forward that to Anthem, and Anthem will be crediting any year-to-date deductibles and out-of-pockets. So you're not going to have to start all over because we're changing carriers. So no penalties to anybody to do that. That was all I had. Again, we actually had run some small group quotes for several of our clients. In the mountain areas, we're a little bit under market by and large, but with what we're reading in the papers and what's coming from the insurance commissioner, at least in Colorado, we're pretty happy with the renewal. By and large, our clients have, as they always do, have stepped up and picked up the bulk of that renewal for their staff. So that is good news for everybody. And, we're glad to be back with Anthem. A couple of years ago, Anthem was not competitive. And, again, I'm on the same healthcare plan you are. So I certainly don't want, to get a big increase. So we did move to Cigna. Now we're going back to Anthem, and I think it'll be positive. Everybody seems to be excited about it, so that will be good. The only other thing, that we can talk about on this is health saving accounts. And by the way, I should say in the back of the booklet, you need to take a look at this. These are your annual notices. These are good for next year. They're also online as you go through the process, but we also attach them to your booklet this year. So all the legal notices that you need are in there. The one thing that we haven't talked about, and these are the health savings accounts and the flexible spending accounts, and you have access to those things. If you sign up for one of the HSA plans, one of the high deductible health plans, you have access to a health savings account. And that's exactly what it sounds like. If you sign up for that plan and you don't already have one, those plans are staying with Omega this year. And if you are new to this, we will open an account for you with Omega, and you can divert funds pre-tax into that bank account. It is your bank account. It goes with you when you leave. I pay for it as long as you are a legacy employee or at least employed under one of our clients. And you use those funds pre-tax to pay for qualified medical expenses. And that can be anything from prescriptions, sometimes over the counter. It can be dental expenses. You can cover dependents. So if your kid has braces, even though you don't cover them on our dental plan, you can still use those funds for out-of-pocket expenses there. You can use them for glasses, contacts. You can use them if they're prescribed and it's done the right way for, acupuncture, chiropractic care. We've had somebody use it in the past and I'm not your tax advisor, so I'm not giving you tax advice, but someone used those funds for, like a weight loss, like a Slimgenics type program. They were prescribed by their doctor. They need to lose weight. And so they use their HSA funds for that. Again, that is your bank account. It is not a use it or lose it prospect like the flexible spending accounts are. So those funds roll, they grow, you get enough money in there, you can invest those in mutual funds, and I am doing that. If you want to talk about that, I'm happy to talk to you about that. You can get a little better rate of return than you would on a normal savings account. I choose to keep mine in a very conservative investment. Again, I'm not giving you investment advice here, but there are a lot of ways to make this work for you. We see probably over 80% of our total population is on one of the health savings account plans, high deductible health plans, and they are participating in a health savings account. So again, we will open that for you once you sign up for that plan, and I will pay for that account for as long as you're employed by one of our clients. Now, the alternative to that is if you choose one of the PPO plans, you can enroll in a flexible spending account. And those are somewhat similar. You have a medical reimbursement account. And so if you go and get a prescription, you can swipe your debit card and the embedded code should take care of that. You're paying that out of your pre-tax dollars that we take right out of your check. You don't have to touch it. You don't have to do anything. These claims are scrubbed. And what I mean, they're processed and they have to be approved. And a lot of that is just in the coding on the purchase. With point of sale terminals, this has gotten really easy. I can remember the days where you'd have to send in a receipt and whatnot and a request for reimbursement, and we would have those funds and we would reimburse you for that. That is not the case any longer. If you have some sort of standing, monthly maintenance or prescription or something along those lines that you're running through this, you can get reimbursed via direct deposit. If it doesn't work with your debit card, you can get a direct deposit back, in a couple of days. So a lot of technology. We've come a long way on this. The other thing that you can do through your flexible spending account is dependent care. So if you have daycare for your child, and you might have maybe a parent that you're having to take care of. If you have a recognized daycare expense or dependent care expense, you can take monies out pre-tax up to a IRS maximum of $5,000, and you can be reimbursed for those expenses. If you have daycare, you probably ought to think about doing this because you don't keep the money anyway. So let's not pay tax on it. And that, again, typically these places will take debit cards now. Your KinderCares, your Child's Place, those types of franchises and whatnot, they will typically take a debit card. If not, there are ways to set this up as a recurring expense. I know $5,000 does not go very far as it relates to the daycare costs that are out there right now. But $5,000, if you're in a 20% tax bracket, you just saved $1,000 in taxes by doing it this way. So take a look at that. Those plans will default into your HSA FSA pages as you go through based on your healthcare selections. As you go through the process, you will need to either select or waive every coverage. It will not let you finish until you do. And it'll give you a big red highlight if you don't do it. It's pretty easy to follow along. It's very intuitive. It's very easy on the eyes. But you will need to elect or waive every single coverage in order to finish this. If you don't, it will mess up your enrollments. It will mess up your benefit billings. So you really need to go through and do this for us, please. Every full-time eligible employee needs to complete this process. I think that's about all I have. There is no 401k in this year. We'll be cranking out a separate 401k module that you can look at. If you have questions, please give us a call. Again, you've got 2 weeks to complete the process. It can't be extended because there's a weekend in there, and we'll start running payrolls that, right after that for our people who get paid on the 5th or in that first Friday. So if you have questions, please let us know. We're happy to walk you through this. This is obviously a very busy time for us, very busy time for you, but we're here to help you get through this process. I think that's it. I appreciate you taking the time to go through this. Thanks, and have a very, very good weekend.